Hello and welcome to Growing Organically for Wholesale Markets. Today we will talk about pest and disease management. We're going to start off today's episode by joining Roger Garret in Scott County, Virginia, to discuss some of the sprays available for organic growers in managing pests and disease.
Up until now, we have plowed, distilled, later plastic, and irrigation system. And today we're going to talk about a little bit about spraying and weed control. We spray to prevent disease and pests. Today we'll be using Impede and Organicide. That's pretty much a double whammy for you get your disease prevention and you beat back the pest. You know, we did a couple weeks ago, we were having after we first set, we were having a pretty bad cucumber beetle problem. And we finally got a hold of that though with using neem oil and things like that. If you don't get those beat back, as you can see right here, this is what they do. They feed on the leaf itself. That's what's caused that. They eat the leaf, and that's a problem, obviously. But especially more so when the plant is little. You know, if you got a plant that is just barely up, then they can really, if you get a lot of those, they can really just eat you back into the dirt. And then you have to worry about disease. They carry bacterial wilt, and they carry it on them. And when they get on the plant itself, they spread that on the plant, and then you're done for if you get that. I mean, you might come back from it, but if it's at an early stage in the plant's life, it's going to be really hard, and you might lose a lot of your crop. We beat them back a lot. There isn't many in the field anymore, but you know, there's always going to be some here, but that's just how it is. You can't kill them all, eradicate them, but we just try to control them pretty much. That's what spraying does. You can see that flying around? That is like the moth butterfly version of a cutworm. Okay, and they'll come in and just, the plant will just be cut off right here at the base. And just like you took a knife and cut it off. And you got to worry about those a lot. If you're growing peppers, stink bug will bite it and cause a place in the pepper, and it'll just rot, and then it's useless. You have to throw it away, or I mean, we usually just throw it away. You can't even really food bank it. We're spraying Organicide and Impede. One is going to act as disease control and prevention. That's a stink bug right there. It's a little baby stink bug. We're getting all kinds of good information here. But anyway, one is going to act as disease control and prevention, and one's going to be to kill pests, insects, and prevent them from taking over. But you can see we have plenty of those out here today. I'd spray once a week, you know, for sure. You have more of a kill factor with conventional sprays. Organics, I think, is all about prevention. If you can prevent it, even conventionally, you know, if you can prevent something, then you're better off than trying to come out here and when you already got it. If you already got powdery mildew or downy mildew, it's going to be a lot harder to come back from that than it was just to come out and spray and prevent it. We're using this blower, and we're going to try to coat all the plant. Mainly the leaf surface. Get it on there really good, because as you can tell, you know, cucumber beetle loves the leaf, and any bug's going to try to feed that's going to feed like that. They're going to get all over the leaf, and when they get on the leaf, they get the spray on them. There's certain sprays, if you come out here and spray in direct sunlight, you take a risk of burning the plant with them. So if I was just, as a good rule of thumb, I would spray more of the evening or early morning. Take precaution. Don't be like me and wear shorts and short sleeve shirt, no gloves. Wear gloves, long sleeves, pants, and if you get anything on you, you're supposed to take those clothes off after you get done spraying and wash them. Get all the spray out of it. Wash your skin really good if you get any on you, you know. But you ain't got to worry about it as much with organic sprays. There is some that'll get you, but like oxidate. But eventually, there's a lot of sprays that you don't want on your skin. It'll make you sick. If you inhale them or get them on you, absorb them through your skin. So, you know, if you're spraying conventional sprays, definitely, just read the label, read the warning label, and go from there. A lot of things you might want to wear a respirator with. A lot of stuff there, like you're supposed to wait conventionally. You know, especially you don't want to come out here and spray it and then go ingest the food or handle it. You know. This is what we call a boom sprayer, and if you are doing like we're doing, you got too much to backpack really. I mean, if you want to send in five, 6 guys with backpack sprayers, that's fine. But by the time you bought that many steel backpack sprayers, you could have bought one of these. So it's better as far as time goes and everything. So if you're over, I'd say acre or two, you know, you're probably going to be looking at this route versus backpack spraying it. Another thing is when you're spraying, if you got extra in your tank, you're not supposed to leave that in there and let it set for days. And you're not supposed to just go out here and you say, okay, we got a mud hole over here. Looks like it could use some spray. You're not supposed to do that. You know, frogs living in there. They don't like spray. So don't go over there, open the drain plug, and drain it out in the frog's environment.
As Roger noted, the inputs for organic growers are mainly preventative, so it's extremely important to spray when you first see any pests or diseases. We also saw in a previous episode about your greenhouse the approved input matrix that Robin Robbins was using. If you need a copy of that, check out our online blog, which will provide a link to the document. Next, we're going to join Richard Moyer of Moyer Family Farms in Russell County, Virginia, to learn a little bit of how you can manage pests and disease by attracting beneficial insects.
People will look at this and they'll say, what in the world's going on here? Well, me as an ecologist, biologist, say there's a lot going on here that I love. Patrick Battle in Western North Carolina, I really respect him. Richard McDonald, some guys that have done a lot of work as far as natural insect control. And one of the things that Patrick's taught with me, do attend farm conferences, whether regional, local, national. Attend farm conferences and pay attention, whatever works for you to pay attention. What Patrick said at a seminar on growing for pollinators on farmscaping is, he said cultivate a buzz. And what he meant by that was you want to have as much as possible, all year long as much as possible, to hear or see buzzing insects that are flying around, so that you always have pollen, you always have nectar, you're always attracting beneficial insects. That's a Hymenopteron wasp, and you can see it's gathering pollen. Tiny on its back legs are those saddlebags full of pollen. And the more pollen it gets, the more eggs it lays. Now it's going to go out and it's going to lay eggs somewhere near some bad insects are. Some young insects are going to be eating my plants, like cabbage worms, the green cabbage worms. They're going to be on broccoli and cauliflower and kale and things like that. She'll go and she'll lay her eggs on or near things that her babies then can go eat, and they'll come back and carry out their life cycle several times. You can see this fly right up here. You know, there's a number of flies that actually are beneficial, and again another one of those little wasps are flying around. There's a number of flies, taconid fly I think is the name of that, and they actually eat insects. You know, we think flies are just coming and bothering our food, but some of those flies actually eat insects. And so again, somebody can see this and say, you know, why isn't this mowed? Why don't you have bare soil? Why don't you have some kind of crop? Well, I do have a crop here, and it's flowers, and it's pollinator habitat. And this, in a sense, is my companion planting for my tomatoes that are just there, and some other crops, my okra crop that's up there too. This is our pepper plot. Peppers are a fairly disease-free crop, an insect-free crop. I talked with somebody yesterday, you do have virus issues coming in, so be careful of your seed and your transplants, virus-free if possible. Crop rotation is really important. We did have bacterial speck or spot, one or the other, a couple of years ago, and we started pre-treating our own seed with a heat treatment that you can read about. And so now we couldn't grow this crop for a couple of years, we did an ID on the disease, figured out how to treat the seed before we planted, and now we have disease-free peppers. So when you have a disease problem, Alan Strahl is great. He's with Virginia Tech. Other people can help you figure out the disease, use the specific treatment, ideally to prevent the disease. When you do get a disease shows up, look into ways to treat it. But crop rotation, healthy soil, healthy plants go a long way toward minimizing diseases, even avoiding them altogether.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope to see you next time on Growing Organically for Wholesale Markets.